Hello everyone, me again. I've been asked to do another talk for the Pagan Federation Disabilities Conference, this time for the summer solstice. And I thought I'd do something a little bit different because everyone's going to be focusing on the summer solstice and the sunrise and all of that sort of celebration. So I'm standing here just past midnight on a Sunday night in the middle of my local town to talk about the magic of place and the spirit of place. So we're fortunate enough here in Derby to have our spirit of place, and if I can show him to you, here he is. This is the Derby Ram. The statue was put up, according to the plaque here, in 1995 when the local council decided that they needed a signifier for the heritage of Derby City, which many places now do. But Derby is a modern city, but also an ancient city. It's a Viking one. Derby literally means dear town, and the marketplace here has been here for centuries as a result. And those who live here know that Derby's got a very strong identity, and the Ram is a big part of that. People come here to meet and congregate on Saturday afternoons. Litlands will sit on his back. People will use it as a meeting point. And even the football team has got its icon, it's his costume mascot called Rammy. And it's this heritage of a farming city. It's who we are as a place. But it's also very much this particular place here. When we first moved to Derby, because I'm not native, we came to this point and for some reason felt something between the points of this crossroads here. I didn't know what it was at the time. It was just a feeling when you step off of the regular street into this particular area, there is a sense of something going on. And I've asked local people, do you know what this is in this particular point? And many of them have just sort of rolled their eyes and gone, no, what do you mean? And others have said, right, yes, you felt it. And there is very much a tangible spirit of place here at this point. People see it as a friendly place. The statue marks the spot, but I suspect a lot has gone on here in the past historically, because there is just a sense of age here. There is a sense of the spirit of this city. And if I can walk you round, you'll see the front of this Ram and the plaque which is here. I hope this is working because my lovely cameraman is doing his best. Thank you to him. And you can see, I hope you can see the tiny glistens in the granite here. There is definitely a sense of something. Nobody ever graffitis on him. You get a little bit of bird debris, obviously, but otherwise he's generally kept untainted, and it's really something because on the one hand, behind us we've got St Peter's Church. Behind him, over here, we've got bus station. This side there is a shopping mall. This side there is a market and a co-op. So it's about as normal as it can possibly be. But as I say, there is something in this crossroads. It is a crossing point of four ways, obviously with all the heritage that means. But there is a lot going on in this little town. And this is true of every town, I think. I've come here at night because there's nobody else here. There's the odd person wandering past, but this is the time when you truly get to see the spirit of the place and the magic of wherever you live without all of the noise and the bustle, because we're only here, we're passing through, but this land is here, obviously it's beneath our feet and all around us. So if you'd like to come with me, I will show you what there is to see of Derby. and I'm standing here now in Derby Marketplace, which is the oldest recorded place we have of activity in the town. It's been here since Viking times, as I said, and nowadays it's a centre point for everyone to come and congregate. It's a large open space with a war memorial in the middle, a market on one side which is indoors, but it also hosts an outdoor marketplace. Farmers have come here for generations, they still do. Creative people come here, religious groups gather here to show off celebrations on their festivals, which is wonderful to see. I'm actually standing atop the water feature, which is the waterfall in the middle of Derby. It's a good meeting place, but it's also the old Speaker's Corner, so people would come here to state their case and harangue others, and sometimes you get, again, religious people coming to talk about that. But the people of Derby have never been backward about coming forward, and they will give as good as they get. This is a place for people to come and to be together. I don't know if this is true for you guys watching, but for me, of a Saturday, you would go out to the shops, you would go and do a bit of shopping, go for a coffee, meet people, generally just do things on the weekend that you couldn't do in the week. And despite all the technology of this age, I think we still do this, because on a Saturday people come here, it's buzzing, there's the market, there's a beach they sometimes construct in summer, there's an ice rink in the winter, there's a Ferris wheel that they put in the middle so that you can actually ride up and see, like the London Eye, the mileage all around here, and it's quite humbling to realise that we are still passing through, but people still come here. And again, of an evening that isn't a Sunday, this is part of the bar area, so it's jumping. It's not often too rowdy, but people come here to congregate. People come here because it's their place. It's a safe place. I've got the cathedral up at one side. We've got various theatres over here, including a very modern one which has just been built in recent years. People come to use this, and they feel that they can, because while in many modern cities it seems very corporate, Derby's always kept its identity. Despite the big shopping malls that have opened, there's still many independent shops, and I think people will always have that. People will fight for that here, and that's a wonderful thing. I felt a similar thing to this now when I was living in London and walking, say, through Leicester Square at 3 o'clock in the morning, when I was a young student out on the Raz. And you can feel the joy of people gathering and congregating, and safe enough in the crowds. And you can hear people walking past now. There's the odd person still, there's couples walking through. It's not a bad place to be. You feel this sense of, I can be here, I'm allowed to be here, this is my city. And I think that's a wonderful thing, that's something we should celebrate. We celebrate our history. On the solstice, we come together usually in places very different to this. I personally gather, I'll say, with my family, just my partner and the dogs, usually on a hilltop, just a few hundred yards from my house. A lot of people gather in the stone circles, they gather in the ancient places. This is one of them. I've been called upon by media before to witness the solstice at Woollerton Hall, which you would probably have seen on film as Wayne Manor in the Batman films recently. So that's about as modern as can be, but they've still asked me to stand there on top of a hill in Nottingham that time and witness the sunrise. You stand where you stand to watch that sun, but you come to where you come that is part of your tradition every day. You come to the places that you call home, that is your immediate stomping ground, if you like, or as a policeman friend of mine used to call it, his manor. There's the clock. It's 1:45 on a Monday morning, so if I babble then it's because I'm tired. We come here to recognise the magic of the place that we call home, and we recognise that every day. And I think what I wanted to talk about in terms of magic and spirit of place was to remind that day or night, summer or winter, we stand in our home, we stand in our place. And even if that does feel sometimes a little uncomfortable, or it's somewhere you're not quite sure you want to be, you're moving through, that's okay, but it's your place for now. And then you'll see where you end up. I know a lot of people who say, oh, I'm not wanting to stay here just yet, I want to travel to such and such a place, I've got a call to Wales or Scotland or wherever it is. That's fine, but you will always have that memory of the place you called home for this little while. I'm here, as I say, I wasn't born here, I'm from down south, and so my accent is mocked by the northerners, and when I go down south it's mocked by the southerners. I come from all over the place, and I like that, because when I travel abroad I always come home and feel what the Welsh call the hiraeth. Apologies to Welsh speakers, my Welsh is terrible, but it's that sense of homecoming, it's that sense of belonging on this island, this land. I feel that when I step onto the hill which is my home, which I filmed in last time. I feel that familiarity when I step into various places around here. When I first came here, we went to the marketplace and I said, this is just lovely. This is such a wonderful place to be. You see the crossroads, like around where I was, there is many of those. This place was built with gatherings of people in mind, and I have absolutely no doubt at all that from the homeless people over there to the people closing up the restaurants to any number of people who use this space, we all have that connection. And I would say to you to head out this solstice weekend, if you can, depending on your mobility, just see where you can get to, where you can be. If it's in your house, that's fine. If it's your garden, that's fine. But go out there and feel that space, feel that place, and feel where you are, where your feet are, where you're planted at this time of year. And then I ask you again, and I might be here saying it to you again in due course, on the winter solstice, do it again and see where you are then, because you won't be up at 4 a.m. watching the sunrise. You'll be up at 7 watching it and then hurrying back indoors because it's cold in the middle of December. But this is us as pagans witnessing the passing of time, the passing of the years, but our feet walking the paths where we are. And that's the magic of life, of the seasons, of the practicality of our spirituality. And that is my paganism, how I live it every day. So, I hope you've enjoyed this. I wanted to do something a little different, so here we are, middle of the night, middle of Derby, middle of the year. I wish you happy solstice, and I'll no doubt speak to you again soon. Blessed be.